Welcome back, everyone. We are making the chicken that goes into chicken biryani. And in the earlier clip, I have the recipe for how this is made. The chicken biryani recipe, you can find it in my very first book, A Dozen Ways to Celebrate. It's one of the last chapters. And the fun part about this dish is that it's the star of your meal. It's all in one, and it's a big pot of meat cooked with potatoes and rice. Again, potatoes is a regional influence. Regardless, it's a very rich and satisfying dish. It's it's very special. So we save it for days when you can make a big pot of it and enjoy it with your family. In the previous clip, I have the recipe for how I made this. I started with about 3/4 of a cup of caramelized onions, 2 tablespoons of oil, and to that I added a large tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. The ginger garlic paste was less, might appear less in comparison to how much we're making for the dish, but that's because the meat that we have in here was already marinating in some ginger garlic paste as well. To the pot of onions and ginger garlic, I added some whole spices, which included cloves, cardamom pods, peppercorns, a little piece of mace, and a cinnamon stick. We stirred that around, added the dried spices, which included cayenne pepper, turmeric, and the cumin coriander blend, as well as a teaspoon of fennel seeds before that. And once all that was tossed around, I added the potatoes. The potatoes, because they were parboiled, and I parboiled them with a little bit of salt, which actually helps the process so that the potatoes have some flavor of their own, and they're not, because the skin is still on, they're not relying on an extremely spicy sauce and they're not waiting on the flavors to go through or cooking for too long a time, and then they tend to get really nice and tender as part of the cooking process. To that mix, I added the marinated chicken, and this is what the chicken drumsticks start looking like. Now I'm going to turn this down back to low and cover it and let it cook, but not before I add a handful of fresh mint leaves. Mint is an important part of this recipe. It adds a ton of flavor and is very fragrant, and it also has a little bite. If you have the good mint, it'll have a bite. I don't encourage using peppermint. Your dish will taste like toothpaste. So go find the really nice mint. Make sure you scrape the sides of your pot as you get it ready for cooking. Covered. Now I'm not adding salt at this point because the marinade for the chicken contains salt as well as the potatoes. So I'm going to let this cook on its own for a little while and then come back and check it, and then we'll find out if this dish needs some more salt. Catch you in a bit.